Welcome to LOQation, Cabrini College's weekly news program. I'm Parisa.
And I'm Ricardo Shepard, and here's your news now.
2 emergency incidents occurred on Cabrini campus this past week. Last Monday, a female student had a seizure outside of West Residence. Public safety arrived and notified paramedics. The student was sent to Bryn Mawr Hospital for evaluation. On Tuesday, the director for public safety at Cabrini College, Craig Doyle, sent out an email to students explaining that Radnor Township Police were called to Cabrini College after a complaint was made. At 1:38 p.m., a student and a pizza delivery man had an altercation at Residential Boulevard. After Radnor Police investigated the incident and interviewed both the student and the delivery man, the issue was resolved without any arrests. Cabrini students can submit proposals now for their presentations at the campus-wide Cabrini Day Lead for a Change event. You can find the online application at cabrini.edu/Cabrini Day. Cabrini Homecoming was a weekend-long party for current students, their families, and alumni. What makes homecoming an important time for most colleges? LOQation got some answers from the individuals who ran Cabrini's homecoming last weekend.
Homecoming is just a great celebration. It's a celebration of bringing alumni back, getting students involved on campus right here, faculty, staff. It's the whole Cabrini community getting involved, and it's just a great weekend. You know what I mean? Different events, athletics, we have alumni events, student events, you know what I mean? And then there's also the events where everyone's involved.
College is such a wonderful time in people's lives. They have a lot of fond memories, and so coming back here, it's just takes them away from everyday life, and they get to walk down memory lane and just remember all the great times that they had here on campus. Cavalier Traditions is our student alumni group, and it's really what we do is we want to create Cabrini pride on campus. We run different events. As an example, we just did the Cabrini Color Run, the Cavalier Traditions Color Run, and it was awesome. But what we want to do is just create Cabrini pride. So we unveiled the new tradition now of having class colors. Each class is going to have their own color. So it was seniors black, juniors green, sophomores were purple, and freshmen were blue. Alumni are just a lifeline to the college. They are just they are the personality, they're part of the mission. They came as students, and they really helped to form what the Cabrini College community is all about. When you strike the right chord with alumni, you definitely see big turnouts there. To students, to use this opportunity to connect with the alumni who are going to be back on campus and start to build those relationships, just paying attention to the fact that they're still connected, and that shared Cabrini experience that you have, and that bond, forming those relationships now, that is a huge benefit, just to have an alumni association that has over 15,000 alumni a part of it, and each student will be a part of that alumni association. So just build those connections and those relationships at events like this.
And that was your trip around the block. Let's check in with Howard Blake to see what's new at sports. So Howard, what's going on with professional sports this week?
Well, the NFL is actually doing their part in tackling domestic violence, so I'll have more on that for you today.
Yep. So what's going on with campus sports?
Well, the women's tennis team is actually undefeated in the CSAC, and for anyone who's interested in intramural sports, we'll actually have more information on that for them. Right. So let's take a look, guys. The NFL is doing its best to tackle domestic violence. After the NFL passed judgment on the Ray Rice incident, they decided to partner with the National Domestic Violence Hotline. The NFL will fund the hotline to ensure that they help the needs of those being abused. Looks like they're taking a step in the right direction. In other news, all 30 NBA teams met with the media to answer questions and pose for pictures. One of the biggest stories was Rajon Rondo addressing the media in an arm sling. Rondo said he slipped while in the shower and broke his hand while trying to break his fall. After his ACL injury that kept him out for most of last season, this should only be a bump in the road for Rondo. Now there's great news for Cabrini athletics. For the first time this season, the men's soccer team won back-to-back games. In their first CSAC matchup, the blue and white defeated Keystone College 2-1. Mohamed Kone and Bobby Kane had 1 goal apiece, and with the win, the Cavs are now 5-4 on the year. This past Tuesday, the women's tennis team took on Eastern University in the Battle of Eagle Road. In dramatic fashion, the Cavs defeated their crossroad rivals 5-4. Each match was a nail-biter, but the Lady Cavs found a way to grind out the win. The Cavs are now 9-3 overall and sit atop the CSAC at 6-0. Now, the Dixon Center isn't only home to collegiate sports teams. Let's take a look and see what it has to offer with intramural sports.
Well, we've got a pretty wide range of activities. On the intramural side, we've done our flag football. We've got a floor hockey tournament coming up. We'll be doing a dodgeball tournament, battleship in the pool at the end of October. Oh, a 3-on-3 basketball tournament towards the end of November, early December, right before finals week.
From last year, I never really heard about anything that intramurals offered, and this year it's kind of created a buzz. So our goal is to promote the intramural leagues so as much as we can to get more involvement on campus. I think it's really hard on campus when no one really knows about something, so no one wants to take the initiative to get involved. So now that we kind of have a buzz on campus, people are really starting to come out to events and starting to participate in the things that we offer to do.
I play roller hockey, club roller hockey. And they didn't really have a goalie last year, and so I decided to join, and then I stuck with it because I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the guys on the team. It's actually really close to my home, so my family was able to come watch me play. Okay, we play at Marple Sports Arena, which is located in Broomall, about 10 minutes south of campus. We play like Temple, Villanova, Drexel, just local schools in the area. I like it because it's like a casual sport. It's not something to take too seriously. Good takeaways, you get to meet some new people, some people that you probably wouldn't meet outside on campus or anything like that.
I'm in the club lacrosse program. I got involved, well, I think looking back my freshman year, I wanted to do something aside from just going to the gym. I wanted to get involved back in a team sport. Some of the games too, I remember we had our first game I was ever in, a great win against Delaware Valley College, where Ian McGlynn scored the winning goal in overtime. That was a really memorable game.
There's a lot of benefits to intramurals and club sports. The biggest is just that sense of community and just getting out and having fun outside of the classroom. You know, grabbing your friends, maybe people in your res hall, and getting together and making a team. Sometimes it could be a competitive team, other times it could be just for fun.
The biggest benefit of playing is I've met new people. I think also it's just you bond closer with some floor mates. You meet people from Valley Forge who come over and play with us since we're partnered with them. If
they wanted to do a sport or a tournament for intramurals or for club for that matter, just come in and see me at the second floor of the Dixon Center or send me an email. We can sit down and talk about whether that sport's going to take off, if we think there's going to be enough interest, kind of start to gauge the interest on campus and see what we can do, and then kind of go from there.
And that was this week's sports news. Let's send it over to Ricardo at the news desk.
Earlier this week, a 23-year-old suspect was accused of funding a U.S. man who went to fight in Syria. According to sources, Australian police decided to investigate after information was released by the FBI. The accused suspect was charged for providing ISIS with a donation of $12,000. Australian federal police claimed that providing funding is equally criminal as actually traveling to participate. The AFP says that they will use all of their resources to cut off the supply of funding to terrorists. No information has been released. CNN reports that the United States military has already spent nearly $1 billion on attacks against ISIS. After orders from the president, the U.S. initiated airstrikes in Iraq and worked its way into Syria last week. According to the Center for Strategic and Budgetary Assessment, costs could rise to as much as $1.8 billion a month if the U.S. military presence grows to 25,000 ground troops. Despite the fact that there are troops currently stationed in Syria, President Obama insists that he has no intentions of conducting ground combat operations against ISIS. This week, Afghanistan signed a security deal with the U.S., allowing American troops to stay in the country for more than a year. By next year, over 12,000 U.S. troops will provide training and assistance to Afghanistan security forces. The newly signed deal would allow special forces troops from foreign countries to assist in training of Afghan forces. LOQation News took a trip off campus this weekend to check in on students to gain insight on what it's like to be a commuter at Cabrini College. Let's see what they have to say.
big struggle with commuting as an off-campus resident would definitely have to start with the traffic. Allowing enough time to get to and from class is a big important factor of living off campus. I would have to say the weather has to be the worst. Yes, you do have your rainy days, which slows everyone down, but the worst is definitely the winter season. I live on top of a hill, so there's constant accidents. There's days where I can't get to class and I can't make it back from class, so that really creates a struggle for me because I either get stranded on campus or I get stranded and miss my classes.
The pros living off campus are that I have a newfound sense of home being off campus. I have a home that I can go to and I can cook for myself. I have an added sense of privacy and even freedom by, getting to go on and have my own room, my own kitchen, my own laundry. As for the commuting aspect of going to campus, I really don't mind it at all. It's about a 10 to 12 minute drive, which is not that bad, give or take a few minutes because of lights. But I really love the scenery and just being able to feel like I'm going from home to my school.
Besides having all the benefits of living off campus, like my own room and having a kitchen and a pet, I have a dog, I'm saving a lot of money in the long run, a couple thousand, by living off campus instead of on campus.
And those are this week's big issues. So Morgan, I heard Wiz Khalifa and Amber Rose broke up. What happened?
Well, apparently he cheated on her, but we're going to find out more about it right now on Entertainment Update. After 1 year of marriage, Wiz Khalifa and Amber Rose are getting a divorce. It's official. There have been allegations of Wiz Khalifa cheating, but do you believe it? Amber Rose explains herself, saying that Wiz cheated and that they were getting a divorce, and she states that she has been faithful and she wants full custody of their 1-year-old son, Sebastian. They both have a prenup, which will provide Ms. Rose with spousal support she needs, according to E! News. Ladies, George Clooney is officially married. His wedding was on September 27th in Venice, Italy, according to E! News. His beautiful wife is Amal Al-Mahmoudin, and you can find their exclusive photos in People magazine. Clooney says that marriage feels pretty great. It must be, considering they gave out iPods to their guests with their favorite songs on it. Awesome party favors, Clooney. We wish you and your wife a happy and long future. Nicole Snooki Polizzi is back home after having her baby girl, Giovanna. Just a few days ago, she gave birth to her little girl, and she's been posting pictures on Instagram of her pregnancy all the way up to her giving birth. You can see her baby girl with her son on Instagram. Congrats, Snooki, and good luck to you and your happy family. Well, that was my time with your entertainment update. Now let's look into what's coming up next week on LOQation News. Let's send it over to Ted.
Next time on LOQation News.
Cabrini is allowing financial aid to flow over to help in making study abroad affordable for students.
Then we discuss how domestic violence is being covered in the media.
Followed by coverage on AJ Picard, Cabrini Sr., who created a new app which is called the iGames app.
All this and more, only on LOQation News.
Thanks for joining us this week. For LOQation Weekly News, I'm Parisa Ghaffari.
And I'm Ricardo Shepard. Make sure to stay up to date with us by following us on our social media. Simply search LOQation News. Have a great week, Cabrini.